First of all, one of the main considerations with the difference in those two is budget. When you're a writer, you get to write whatever you want. I don't necessarily subscribe to that. I think even as a writer, you have a responsibility to think about what your audience is or who your audience is, but also what release platform are you aiming at? Do we all want to write theatrical movies that go into cinemas and make a lot of money? Sure. That's becoming harder to do, especially outside of the studio system itself. So budgetary, the smaller stories, specialty stories, tend to be cable or streaming. So it's very much dependent on the stories themselves. You know, Lifetime movies, they're never going to be theatrical movies. Budget size with special effects, the content themselves, what talent is attached. You know, the one case I will remember is Collateral with Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx. That was not as big a movie as it started out. It was going to be made into a much smaller budget movie that was going to be released as an independent film. Until one of Tom Cruise's representatives found it on a desk somewhere, gave it to Tom Cruise, and he responded to it. That makes it a different film now. It's no longer going to be released on, you know, IFC Films. It's now going to be a theatrical release. So I think in a lot of cases, the size of the budget, the size of the distributor makes a lot of decisions around what kind of movies get released in the theatre or streaming, but also writing them. I think the genre as well, romantic comedy, you won't see too many of those in the cinema much anymore, like they used to be. Broad comedies as well have become a tough sell in the theatre. You'll see those on streaming, so sometimes what you love to write may not necessarily be cinema fare. Now that's not to say that it can't get a theatrical release in a limited capacity, but a lot of the big IPs like Marvel, DC Comics, big A-list movie ensembles still try to make it in the theatre. Some of them do not work. But they're the main differences. And when you're starting out writing a script, you really do need to think about what is this, where would it belong, and what might the budget be as well.